Cool. Recording.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. So, just to give you guys some background, I'm Sundar, and joining me is Lisa. Um, we've been doing this. Lisa and I have been talking a lot about relationships, about our personal journeys in spirituality, and also about how learning pranic healing and learning energy techniques has helped to change the way we look at certain things, especially in a partner, and also when you have conflicts with a partner, how to keep that attraction in marriage. What was different before, spirituality and healing, and what's different after. And also for me as a single person, how was it different when I was trying to do this on my own, not understanding certain aspects, and then later on figuring out I had a lot of wrong ideas. So we're going to discuss all this, and hopefully it helps you too. Okay, so yes, can I introduce Lisa? So for those of you who don't know Lisa, right, Lisa is, you've been married for 20 over years, right? Although you
Yeah,
look very young.
the other time when you were asking me, right? Then I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know how long I was married. So I calculated. Actually, it's been
Yeah.
7 years.
Wow. But you look like,
3 years will
you
be
don't.
anniversary.
Yeah, and three
Yeah.
kids, and the kids are almost out of the house, right?
Yeah, two of them are finishing their uni right now.
Okay.
In the last semester now. Yeah, they're going to be a very, very, they're going to be out, young adults. And one of them, the youngest one, has just started his uni. So yeah, three of them.
Okay, so they're
Um,
going to be like in my boat really soon. Although I'm
yeah.
not that young. But,
No, you're young. You're still young. Young at heart. You're all not
yeah.
old.
So, so your kids are like early 20s, and they're learning to make their mistakes in relationships now. I'm, I've made a lot of
Yeah.
mistakes in relationships, and okay. So one of the things is about how to attract the right life partner, right? Okay, so when I was growing up, a lot of the culture around relationships was about marriage, right? It's about good moral values. It's about marriage. This is all great for the long term. Nobody trained me in the short term. Like, how do you meet someone? Like, okay, it's good to have a good marriage, but how do you meet somebody? How do you choose a partner, right? So this part was not really taught, and it requires a little bit of social skills. It requires, if you don't have social skills, you might have tried dating apps or dating agencies, and that may not have worked out either. So there's certain cultures that have developed in the
Yeah.
younger generation, at least, where, yeah, it's a lot of people who, it's called like ghosting, and there's a lot of people who just don't really care too much about the long-term relationship. It's more like a mutually beneficial exchange, and some of them, they call this like productive partners, where you know we expect you're going to change over time, so let's just be together for as long as it serves both of us, and then when it doesn't, then we go our separate ways. There's all kind of these subcultures in dating that I had to bump into and then realize this is what I want or what I don't want. And it's like, oh my God, it's a jungle out there, so, so
It is not easy actually. Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody would like to have their dream partners, right? But after a
Yeah,
while, then you find out that, oh no, this is not the one that I want, or this is not the one that
mm,
is gonna share my life with, or things like that. Yeah, it's
yeah,
actually not easy.
yeah. So this part was really interesting because I think some time ago I also asked you, Lisa, like, how did you meet your husband? How did that happen? Because that it carried on really well, right? And it wasn't just a smooth bed of roses. You also had ups and downs, and
Oh yeah,
yeah. So how did this happen?
definitely. It's not perfect from the first. Of course, when you're young and when you're in love, when you just met, everything is beautiful. Everything is like, you're in love. Everything is perfect. Yeah. But once you get to know each other, after over a period of time, after you get married, things start coming in. Yeah, there's a lot of things that over the years that we iron it out. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like the other I think just now when I was showering, this inspiration or the word came in, I don't know, intuition or whatever. I don't know why my intuition comes in when I shower. I just, Steven was telling me then you should shower more. All right. So it was a thought that I was given. It says being together is not about changing your partner. It is about to learn to work together with the difference, cultivating the best version of ourselves, complement complementing each other. So yeah. Um, let me repeat that again. Okay. Being together is not about changing our partners. All right. It is to
Yeah.
learn to work with the differences, cultivating the best version of ourselves, complementing each
Yeah.
other. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is what we do actually. Um, we can't be the same with each other. We are different, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we grow up in a different culture. We grow up with a different family. Character-wise, we are different. So we can't expect the other person to be the same as us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where I think expectation comes in, where because we are brought up this way, so we expect the other partner to be the same,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, see, this is where I think cultivating the best version of ourselves means we change ourselves, all right, to the best we can and try to get along together.
So it's about like being flexible, being adaptable, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah, not just stuck in your ways. I like this. Like Tekin left a comment as well. She said Albert Einstein also has a lot of inspiration in the showers. So,
Yeah. Let's see.
uh, you know, but yeah, I like what you said. Like, it's about being the best version of yourself and trying to adapt and be flexible and be moldable, grow with your partner, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's not about looking for a checklist of the perfect man or the perfect woman. When I used to work in real estate, my boss had a really funny analogy. So when he used to start the meetings, he would say, so we're all the real estate agents, we're all the salespeople, we're all sitting down in the room, and he'd be like, okay, what are your problems in selling your property? What do your customers tell you, right? And then he says, so everyone will say, oh, price is too high, or property is not, number is not nice, address is not good, and this and that, and this and that. And he's like, oh, such a long list of complaints. And he's like, what would you like in your perfect property? And then there's such a long list of wants and desires, right? He's like,
Right.
the list is so long that the property is in heaven, you know. And I feel it's somewhat similar to relationships. Sometimes we have this amazingly long list of things that we want. Your partner is also, in not on earth, and
Yeah.
it's not about,
Yeah.
yeah, not about
This
finding
is
the
actually
perfect
what
person,
happened,
right?
right? Yeah, this is actually what happened when you're a bachelor, right? You have a list of things that you're looking for in your partner. Yeah. Maybe you can share with us, as a single person,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, for me,
What do you
I,
look?
I want
Yeah.
what you have. I want that. I want a 27-year marriage and 3 kids that are almost out of the house.
You can have that in a few more years to go. How old are you now? Oh no,
Yeah.
this is live. I can't ask how old are you, right? Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So what does single guy look for in a lady? What's your dream lady like?
Um, Well, after this, now I'm looking for adaptability and flexibility.
I
Okay,
can
but
see
in
you
all
blushing.
seriousness,
I can see you blushing, Sundar.
okay,
I can see
but
the
in
blusher.
seriousness though, I did think about this, right? Okay, when you're younger, you think, maybe you want a model or you want a porn star or somewhere in between. You know,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
when I got older, I thought about it like, what do I really want in a person? And yeah, sorry, I see some people laughing online. Um, right. So then I was thinking, actually, there's only three things that really matter, right? Uh, a person who would support you, a person who is loyal to you, and also a person who is adaptable, flexible, keep things fresh. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think
how do
that's
you
what really matters. Yeah.
but keeping things fresh is not easy, isn't it?
Yeah, that requires work, right? It's
A lot
if it
of
was
work.
easy, everyone would be married.
Yeah, a
Like
lot of
nobody would
work.
get a divorce. Yeah, nobody would get a
Yeah.
divorce.
I recall the other day when we were talking, and then you asked me to just give it a thought, after marriage, and what was the thing that makes the marriage work? Yeah. Um, so so far, I think when I reflect back, we started off actually pretty good. Yeah. So stay in, clueless. All right. It's actually not that hard. As long as you know what you are looking for, okay, and what you want in the relationship, then you work towards it, and that's it, you know. And
Yeah,
I think we started in a right footage where we are able to attach and detach. That that is the thing that when I reflect back, I think that was one of the value that we had between both of us. It is attach and detach. Means we are able to attach when we need
yeah,
to, and we are able to detach when we do not need to. Means when we have to do our work, when we have to go about with our own, our own activities and stuff like that. You do not have to be together all the time, right? So
yeah,
you have some space to do things. Yeah, some space to do things independently. That's the most important thing.
yeah,
Yeah, because you need that space. No matter how, if if you were to attach yourself too much to each other, there will be definitely a certain degree of expectation that grow out of it. Yeah, and when that
yeah.
expectation is not met, then I think friction and arguments comes in, and stuff like that. So I think attachment and detachment is very
Yeah.
important. That is what I learned. Yeah,
I
actually
think
I
Pegin
didn't know
has
what
a
it was.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
Pegin has a question for you.
yeah.
Pegin, do you want to unmute yourself?
Oh yeah, actually, for me, it's I focus on value, so I know who I want to attract. Is keeping the freshness in the relationship that I find. After a while, it gets a bit boring, and I was wondering if you could elaborate more about like this link between the attachment and detachment with expectation, because I think even in friendship and relationship, we have a certain degree of expectation. So I was wondering if you could elaborate on this like idea of expectation. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, to me, this is how I view it. Right. Expectation. Sometimes we have the unrealistic expectation. We expect that the person loves us and the person needs to do a lot of things for us. Yeah. But looking at let me think of a scenario. Okay, let's say, for example, I want to do something. I want to do this activity. and I expect my husband to join me, to do the activity together. But if he can't, and I get angry because he can't, and then things get escalate, and you say, oh, you don't love me because this, because you did not want to join me and stuff like that. So I think it is whether, I'm not sure whether this is a very good example. It's just that I feel that the expectation has to be realistic, has to be coming from a point where you got to understand where the person comes from. Yeah. In the sense of, let's say, for example, not just like, if let's say you expect the person love you and be with you all the time 24/7, that is unrealistic. Yeah. So having space, having time away from each other, also, if let's say that the person loves you, you have to have trust in the person as well, because some expectation comes in because we do not trust our partner. Yeah. So
do
I'm not
you
sure
feel,
whether
Lisa,
did I answer you, Christine?
Yeah. Do you feel sometimes it's like let's say, over the course of many years, people are going to change, going to have different interests, you and your partner especially, and then you try something, it may not be suitable for one of you, so you get like attached to each other when you bond over something that's suitable for both of you. But sometimes when things, you have your own personal interests, then you also detach from each other, you take some space, some time for yourself,
Yes.
and they do the same as well. But it doesn't mean you don't love each other because you're not doing the same activity. It just means that sometimes you do things together, but sometimes, when it no longer is suitable, then you do things apart as well.
Yes, I think that's what I meant. Basically, there's a lot of us when how you say it, when we are with a partner, we expect the partner to do everything with us. Even sometimes to the grocery shop, to shopping, to do things like that. We expect the person to be there all the time. But sometimes
Yeah.
we do have our life, so they do need their space as well. So
Yeah.
well, this is where I feel that if we can do whatever we need to do individually, then come back and you attach back again. You come back and
Yeah.
you have your life
So
together.
yeah, Lisa, so the theory, the philosophy is great. Like, this works. I think most people agree with this, right? Some things we do together, some things we do apart. How did you come into this? Like, how do you bring this up with your partner? How do you talk about it? When does it start? Like, does it start before, when you're dating? Does it start when you're married and you say, okay, look, Tuesdays is my day? Or how does this happen?
Well, I guess for me, we started when we started dating, because
Okay.
I know myself, and yeah, we sat down. I remember the day that we sat down, and I told him about me. I mean, about me being a free spirit. I'm very independent. I do not like to be tied down. Well, but of course, if we are together, we respect each other. All right. So that is where I think you talk it out, and
Yeah.
you agree upon it. We agreed
Yeah.
upon it, and yes, that's
So
how we
it's good.
started.
It's good you did this when you were dating, right? Because then he has no choice. He has to agree. It's like, 'cause I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, yeah, but if
Yeah.
let's say everything is bed of roses
Yeah.
when you are dating, so if you go into marriage and then only things escalate to
Yeah.
not so good, so
Yeah.
what would you think that would be the best thing to do? I mean, a
But
lot of us.
something did happen like after marriage for you, right? So of course you went through the normal path where boy meets girl and then you get married and then you had kids and a lot of other things happen. But one thing that was unexpected was that you also came into pranic healing, into spirituality, and that would have definitely changed the relationship a lot if you were not very spiritual person before, and then now to incorporate this in your life. How did this affect your relationship, or did healing help?
Yeah, I was telling you that the other day, I was looking back in my life, and before spirituality, we already have that. We practice the attach and detach. Yeah. Then um, we are also able to joke about our flaws. So in a certain degree, we are able to accept ourselves, as who we are, right? The positive and the negative. And after spirituality, but that was not like, we are not in the optimal level, all right? We still argue, we still have, because before spirituality, frankly speaking, I am very willful, all right?
Yeah.
So I think that is where, when I started spirituality, all right, I did a lot of soul searching. Yeah. And I noticed, when I sit down and I look within, all right, and I am able to see how I was before spiritual. Yeah. And the self reflections come in, where I'm able to see myself, I'm able to observe myself, how do I interact in certain situations. And I love doing that even until now. Yeah, I love to do that every night, um, before I sleep. Like, you do the twin heart, you clear off everything, you calm yourself down, then you do the reflection. Yeah, I do that every day. Yeah, since the day that I started spirituality, I've not stopped Chin Heart meditation at all. Yeah, that
Wow.
that that changed my life actually. If you were to say, if you were to share about Twin Heart, I think there are many incidents that I can share that it helped. Yeah. I think Pei Yin wanted to ask
To
something.
ask.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can unmute yourself, Pei Yin.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just full of questions.
No.
I was just curious. I know, like you say, like you don't want your partner to always do the same thing as you, but actually, after coming into pranic healing or prana world, I somehow find that spirituality in my future partner is important. Like, for example, if that person doesn't, well, I don't need the person to come to prana world, but I think if the person doesn't acknowledge what I do as a pranic healer, it's kind of, I don't know. I was just wondering, like, in your spiritual journey, because you got married, from what I understood, before you came to pranic healing, right? Did your partner join in? Like, was there challenges with your partner when you first started, and how did you resolve it? Because I can imagine, if coming to pranic healing and, like, before pranic healing and after pranic healing, there must be like some transition period where your partner might have went, I don't know, like, what are you doing, or be skeptical. And I was just curious, like, how you kind of went through that and resolve it, or like a better. So
Yeah. Okay. For me, is I'm fortunate that my husband is very supportive. Yeah. My journey. Of course, in the first, he was not aware of what is spirituality, what is pranic healing, and things like that. But the thing is, I did not um, I did not really force him to understand. What I did was, okay, there is one incident. This is where you slowly pave the road, okay, pave the path. When he came back from work one day, all right, and he was really in a bad mood. You can see his gloomy face. You can see that he, the energy is like, so much of stress. And then I asked him, I said, are you not feeling well? Then, he mentioned to me, he said, work, this, and things are not going as, good, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, why don't you go and shower? So I learned one trick, right? When we learn pranic healing, is pranic psychotherapy. Okay, this is very useful, all right? So what I did was, after he showered, when he was in the living room, I was doing pranic psychotherapy on him, all right? And then after that, about an hour or two, I think, I went back out and I asked him, how are you feeling now? He says that, yeah, I'm okay. He was like, wow, all the smile. He was smiling from one side to the other. Then I was teasing him. I was saying, you're lucky that your wife learned pranic psychotherapy. He's a pranic healer. So yeah, but what I'm trying to say is he slowly got to know about pranic healing through the healings. And he witnessed the cases that we did, and also he witnessed that I did it on him. Yeah. Then that slowly paved him into energy world. That paved him into, little by little, when I'm listening to all the teachings and all that, right? Little by little, he moved in. He moved in bit by bit. So right now, I'm happy that he is planning to learn pranic healing. Yeah, that's good, because I told him that a healer needs a healer needs a healer. So yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, a healer needs a healer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You told me as well that it's been some time that you've been in pranic healing, and he's also seen some of the effects of this when you're healing your kids as well, right? And
Yes.
and he's starting to warm up to it.
Yeah. We don't.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is everyone have their preference. Your partner does not have to be into pranic healing if they do not want to. But I think slowly, when you are able to show them that this is spirituality. What is spirituality? It's not, it's not like everybody has to be a healer, but spirituality is different, right? It's just a way of life. That is what we learn as well. We not only learn about healing, but we learn about healing ourselves,
Yeah.
and we learn about our journey. What are we here for? And what do we need to cultivate? What lessons we need to learn during our journey in on earth? Yeah. So I guess in that sense, we are able to show them a little bit about what is spirituality. Yeah.
I like what you said there, like about learning our journey here on earth. And I think relationships are a really, really big part of that, right? Like how it's not just about a partner, but how you connect with someone, with anyone. And if you just have problem connecting with people in general, then obviously you're also going to have problem in your relationships, right? So for me, this was one thing that I really learned. I know most people may not like to hear this, but it was definitely true for me that you actually attract what you put out, right? So when you attract a partner, especially when someone that's very, very close to you, the vibrations are really, really in sync, and it's almost like a mirror. You're almost looking at yourself if you're really aware of who you are. So some of the people I've attracted at that point in time, I was like, now if I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I used to behave like that, and I attracted someone very similar to me. So when this started becoming very clear, I started doing pranic psychotherapy on myself. So I also learned from, most of these teachings from Master Chua and, a lot of his senior students, that I took some courses at Prana World as well about, I think it was early January this year, about relationships. And one of the biggest problems was that fear is seated in the chakras. So it kind of sits in the chakra, and then you attract the similar quality, right? So like you said, if you can do pranic psychotherapy and remove this, you start to notice that after removing layers and layers and layers, you start changing. I started changing as a person, and the people that were surrounding me also started to change, started to get better, and it was more of what I was looking for. That long list of things. Well, actually, just the three things, right? I started finding that. And then the magic really happened, where I had to rewire my brain to say, what is beautiful in a person, right? It's no longer about the magazines, the TV shows where they show you models and actresses that look a certain way. A lot of people still feel that way, right? Like, can I have a partner, but to have all this, but also have abs, but also look like a certain way, right? And then I started rewiring my brain of what is beautiful, and then it became that, to see someone persevering, to see someone adaptable, to see someone never give up. And if you have problems, like what you're saying, like what you say about your partner is really beautiful to me right now. It's not about the way you look or the way he looks, but that you never gave up and you always keep trying. You always find a new way to make things work. You're learning together. You're loving together. You're learning together. I think that's really, so that's why I started seeing as beautiful now. No more like the face or the body. And this was in the chakras for me. So when I started disintegrating this, I started finding people that also thought the same way I did. I started attracting my vibration, right? And I think for a lot of people, when they're looking for the right life partner, this is the biggest challenge. It's the fear that's holding them back. It's the fear of of changes in their life. It's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of time running out. I'm getting to a certain age. I have a uh, something I didn't know for men, which I have, but I didn't know. Women, it's quite known that there is a timer, there is a biological clock. For men, actually, there's no biological clock per se, but there is a financial clock. And I didn't know I was racing against that, right? I felt like I needed to earn a certain amount before I can have a relationship, because I need to take care. There's this innate need for providing, right? And I felt like, oh, I'm running out of time. I'm not where I want to be. And then I realized that when I talked to a bunch of different guys, all the guys felt the same way. They all felt, I want to be somewhere and I'm not there, right? So there's this fear that time is running out, both for men and women, but for different reasons, right? And that fear attracts each other. And then when you get in a relationship, both people feel, I'm not really ready, or I haven't done this, I haven't done that, and then the relationship just breaks off. And when I started removing this from myself, I noticed that, okay, firstly, other people who needed help also started getting help through me. And then I also started finding people who thought a bit more differently, who thought about like what is beauty, like supportive, loyal, all these things. And also people who had less fear about time. I noticed that was one of the biggest challenges for me. So some of you might not be pranic healers. So maybe you can meet a pranic healer or come to Prana World. We do healing for you. Okay. Otherwise, if you already know some healing techniques, removing this fear really worked wonders. I think one of the biggest awareness was realizing that you're attracting your own vibration. So if you're already not secure with yourself, and I think this is the same in your relationship too, with your partner for over years and years, because you're a very secure person, and your husband too, you manage to talk things through, right? And you manage to work things out and find some sort of middle ground. You grow together, right? And that's because you both have this nice relationship.
Well, this is very interesting that you brought out about self-healing, because this was something that I wanted to bring in as well. Self-healing. yeah, whatever change that we want to change, it starts from within. Yeah. So once we start changing ourselves and we are able to look at it positively, we attract the right energy, which is right. Yeah. And the fear that you mentioned, yeah, I feel that that doesn't stop even, when you're single, there are fear of single, yeah, there's so many other fears. But when you're married, there are also fear, like fear that, the person will leave you when everything is good, but what, he's back. Oh, he's not back yet. This is like 11 o'clock. Oh my God, where did he go? Things start playing and you start suspecting this, you start thinking that, oh, he's going out with someone, stuff like that, This is an ongoing thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is actually very good that you brought up. This is one thing that I wanted to say. Self-healing is very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps us and it brings us a long way. There are certain of this energy that we do not know that is embedded in our chakras. Yeah. And this does not come out all the time. It's hidden, it's like, okay, I'm just here, when the things come in and then it triggers you, it will start just like, it will just jump out, it's like, oh, I'm here. Yes, it gets you out of your, yeah, it just gets you out of your mind, you go crazy if you keep on thinking about it. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
one energy I think we do need to learn to remove. Yeah. And yeah,
That's
pranic
really nice. You said that, like,
one way.
it's kind of like hiding in a corner and then it
Oh
pounces out.
yeah.
And to be able to know that, right? To be able to know that requires some awareness,
Yes.
to, because most people, when they're in a fight or in an argument, or they don't realize what's actually happening, right? Like, this cat just pops out and goes, ah, like we don't know that, right? So how do you like develop this awareness? Like, is there a point in your life or a point in your day that you say, let me think about what we talked about, or let me think about what had happened with my husband or what had happened yesterday? Is there a time that you talk about things to develop
um
that awareness?
okay, for me the awareness actually, no, not I didn't really go very well with awareness when before spirituality. Yeah, I'll just um I'll just act whatever, however I want. Okay, now that I learned, that was the solar plexus talking, all the time. So whenever there are something that I did not like, I get very
Yeah.
agitated. Yeah, and
Yeah.
if things doesn't go in a certain way, I get very agitated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I learned that, I think if you can equip yourself with the knowledge, that brings in the awareness with the knowledge. Yeah. Without the knowledge, you will not know where to look for. Yeah.
Yeah.
And coming into pranic healing, I think that helped me because I studied a lot on how our chakra affect us. Yeah, what
Yeah.
energy that's embedded in the chakra and how can we remove it. With this knowledge, I think that helped me a lot. Yeah, it improved the way I think, it improved the way that I react, yeah, to certain things. And yeah, things got better, life got
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm still learning. It's
Yeah.
not like I don't get angry. Sometimes
Yeah.
I do, but there is a technique, whether how
Yeah.
you move that, you know how you
Yeah.
mitigate that, yeah, in yourself. So those
Yeah.
kind of knowledge I think is very helpful. Yeah, and that helped me a
Yeah.
lot.
And you said earlier, like, when we started early on, you were saying, like, you do twin hearts every day.
Oh
And,
yes,
do you
I
also,
love
but
that.
then, yeah, you don't necessarily bring up topics with your husband. But then when you realize certain things, maybe about yourself, that you were angry in a certain time, or, something didn't go so well, do you include this in your twin hearts? Do you?
Yes, I
Yeah.
will. I will actually. think of the person. Okay. The amazing thing is when I started this journey, we learned about twin heart, and then we were told that twin heart is good. I did not know how good it was. I was like, okay, just try, and Hengame was telling us how she got over depression because of twin heart. Then I was like, wow, this meditation, this is wonderful, and I tried it over a period of time, and amazingly, all right, the household, home where my mom used to nag a lot. Okay, this is because old people. Yeah, but since I did the meditation, the household become very harmonious. Actually, she her nagging got lesser and lesser and lesser, and now she is very compassionate. And
wow.
really, honestly, she did not learn anything else. I've not, because it's telling her about pranic healing takes a lot because she's at the age. So I did not do that, but amazingly, she have changed, and that change really amazed me. I was like, wow. I didn't know that twin heart meditation can do so much, So I really, I mean, there would be other techniques that you all might find it. Those who have not tried meditation and all that, there might be techniques, or there might be other way that resonate with you. But for me, I think I just twin heart really amazed me. Yeah. That's one way.
I just realized that some people watching this, when we upload this on Facebook later on, I just realized some people might not be pranic healers, or they might not know about the meditation on twin hearts. So twin hearts is not about two lovers, hearts coming together. The meditation on twin hearts is about the heart chakra and the crown chakra, right? The meditation on twin hearts is by Master Tra. It's meant to expand the centers of love in one person, not two hearts of two lovers, So as your heart chakra expands, and as your crown chakra is for unconditional love, when these two expand, your immediate surrounding starts to change. I think this is what Liza is also experiencing, that without actually saying anything to her mom, to her husband, to her kids, just by doing the meditation and filling the space with so much love, even her mom changed, without even knowing about the technique, right? So it's not about two people meditating together. It's your heart and your crown.
Yeah. So yeah, I think in our journey, right, the most important thing, not only that for ourselves, we are we always look at ourselves, right? Oh, your partner has to do something that you like, or your partner has to do this for you because they love you and stuff like that. But I think overall, it's always a two-way. Yeah, you want to be loved, then give out love first. Yeah, this is what we learned. Yeah, this is what I learned. Okay, from Master Tra's teaching, where what do you want to attract is what you give out first, then you get it back again. Yeah. I think there's so many things.
So we'll take,
sorry.
Yeah, we'll take one question for Peg-In, and then we'll wrap this up.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm hogging the questions again. So
no worries. You're welcome. Questions.
I'm going to back to the first question. So actually, it was about how, like, can we really not have expectations? And I'm still curious, like, how you do keep things fresh, because I personally, I confess, after like 9 months, I get bored. I confess. So I think that's why. So
Well, okay, Peggy, when you said you get bored, how do you relate that with your expectation? Is it you bored because the person is not giving what you want?
I think like just like you, I'm willful. So if I feel that person doesn't support what I want to do, my solar plexus just go like, bye, I'm bored. So when you say you're willful, I'm like, yes, I so need you to tell me because I'm a practicing artist and not a lot of people agree with what I do because I don't focus on the practicalities of earning money. So sometimes when I feel like person say like, oh, it's just a hobby or it's a lifestyle, other than getting defensive, I just go like, oh, okay, I'm bored of you or something like when people try to impose too much of what they want onto me. Then so I was just curious because like you say like you're willful and you also do what you want. I'm just wondering how to balance this because I'm super willful. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So when that is where I think Pei-Yin is trying to say that because she has a certain ideas on things that she has, all right, and if the person doesn't go along with that idea, then you feel like the person is not in sync, and then you will move yourself away, right? So well, to me I do encounter a lot of people that doesn't, because I too do things out of the norm, all right, and there are times, and many times there will be people who give a different opinions, who give different. Last time I used to debate, I used to try to put how you say, try to explain my side, yeah, willfully, right? And basically right now I found another way is, when you look at things, different people has different ideas, different people has different view, yeah, does not mean that our view will be their view, and we understand where they come from. We can accept their view. And a good friend of mine have taught me one thing is, you can accept their view without liking it. Yeah. So you do not have to like all the views. You do not have to. People do not have to accept our view. They are. It's free will anyway. Yeah. Every one of us has our own ideas, our own views on things, and things like that. So you got to remember that if you want to be with the person, although the person doesn't have the same view, but we respect their views. Yeah, we try to explain, but if let's say the person doesn't take it, then you just have to respect their view and let them go on with their thinking, whatever that they have. Maybe one day they will understand, or maybe one day they might not understand, but it's okay. It's all right. We carry on with what we like, what we do, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, as long as we are happy with it, it's fine. Yeah.
I think this is really good
I
as
hope I
well
answered
because
that for you, Pei-Yin.
yeah, I think this is really good as well because relating to Peggy's first question about
Yeah.
what your partner is not a pranic healer, right? And they don't understand my path in spirituality. So being a single person, I resonate with that. That I also feel, what if my partner is not a spiritual person? But if we give out that love and understanding and tolerance for their way of life, then we'll receive the same, right? And
Right.
so whatever we do, then they'll also accept and encourage us in what we do, even though they might not agree with it, but they will still encourage us, right?
Yeah.
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 All right. Yeah.
Sometimes when your partner is not into pranic healing, not into spirituality. Yeah. It's kind of like hard to connect with them sometimes because the topic will be different. Yeah. But like I said, spirituality is about life. It does not have to be, things that we like. It can be anything, and they can have their hobby. You can have your hobby. It does not have to be the same hobby, but you still connect with each other in other ways. There is so many ways to connect with each other. It doesn't have to be the same. Yeah, the differences bring us together. Opposite attracts, remember? Yeah. So,
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Liza. And thank you everyone for joining us. So we'll upload this on the Facebook pages, and if you want to watch it again. And next week we'll if you guys want to request a topic that Liza and I can help you out with, next week we'll do this again, where we'll share more about what we've learned and the techniques that we use and how it can help you too. Okay.
yes.
Okay. Thank you everyone, and
All
bye-bye.
right. Bye. Night.
You.
Thanks again. Bye. Night, everybody.
Thank you.